we look at two new TV dramas. The first is the classic tale that gets a new bite in NBC's Dracula. And the second is about cops, both human and android, in Fox's Almost Human.
Hi, I'm Salim.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Brenna, and we're here to talk about two new shows, Dracula from NBC and Almost Human on Fox. Let's start off with Dracula. We've all just seen it. Who wants to start?
Well, I'll take a bite. So the show is created by Cole Haddon, and surprisingly, this is his first show that he's ever done. And I like it. We know Dracula. This is a character that's been around the collective consciousness forever. So of course, how are they going to make it different? And I think they did a really good job.
They made it boring.
They did not make it boring.
Not boring.
They turned the story on its head.
Oh my God. No, okay, so yeah, there was a couple twists that I won't reveal.
But they're great twists.
But it's all about, I'm going to be a businessman and I'm going to take a company down to get back at people. That's Dracula?
But that's just a part of
Murdered people to do this.
Exactly, but that's just a part that he look.
They just talk.
Wait, no. I have to say that having something like this on NBC is with all of the blood and with all of the gore and some very sexy things happening. It's quite refreshing.
Yeah, no, it has some adult.
Sexier and more bloody.
It had a lot of adult situations. I mean, obviously they're trying to contend with cable. Because of how dark it can get, I really enjoyed the dialogue. I thought it was smart and it was witty. Yes, there are instances here and there that it's not as smart and witty, but I think that the majority of it is pretty good.
I thought it was effective dialogue. It felt
expository.
I didn't really
Of course it's going to be expository. It's the first episode.
Yeah. 2 episodes we saw, and it was all like talk. It's like, show me something.
Wait, you say species is like people or animals. What do you mean by that?
Is that not what Mr. Darwin taught us? That man evolves. That is what I've come here to accomplish. To facilitate in that evolution. Give nature a helping hand, so to speak.
Let's talk about our actors, Dracula especially, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. At first, I thought it was a bit self-indulgent, considering that he is the producer of this show and he is the captain of the ship. And as compared to something like Sleepy Hollow, where it has dual protagonists, this is just him. But I like it. I think that he's strong enough as a lead.
I found him very typical. Mm-hmm. He did the little sinister glances over the shoulder. It was all stuff we've seen before. I didn't find it compelling. It wasn't fresh. It wasn't new. His eyes were always bloodshot and glossy. I was like, dude, what's going on? I just found it so uninteresting, and I really, really, really was looking forward to this, and I was disappointed.
I enjoy the production values. They actually had some pretty cool action scenes. We have Dracula with this sword and he's cutting people's heads off. So they're trying to have this cool factor, similar to Sleepy Hollow with the Headless Horseman having like a machine gun.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to jump in right now and at least give it some props for that because it looks amazing. Amazing. That's what actually kept me watching because it's beautiful.
It is absolutely gorgeous. Although I think my favorite parts of the production are the costumes, which are gorgeous. The gowns that these women wear are fantastic. And the lighting. I really liked what they did with the lighting.
Cinematography.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, there's a scene where it's just between Dracula and this young reporter, but there's 3 people in the room because there's him, there's the reporter, and then there's the sunlight coming through a window.
Yeah, it was a great scene.
It's brilliant.
Take 3 parts Downton Abbey and 1 part vampire, and you get NBC's Dracula. Too bad it does what Dracula does to his victims. Sucks. Skip it.
This show takes a story that we all know and love and makes it interesting and new, and I'm really excited to see what they do with it. So I say see it.
A unique take on an already oversaturated property. The twists and turns will keep you coming back for more. See it.
Well, our votes add up to 2 full tickets, which is a stream it for Dracula.
All right, well, let's switch over to Fox and talk about Almost Human.
Almost Human was created by Fringe's J.H. Wyman under the J.J. Abrams banner, and it's a futuristic tale where cops are teamed with androids.
It's like Blade Runner, the TV show. It's
mixed
awesome.
with iRobot.
Yeah, it's got these premises.
There is no identity to this show at all.
Well, there is now. It starts off borrowing a lot. It's got the cop who's got android bits and who doesn't trust androids because an android let somebody die once. Which is very iRobot, and it's got these cops in the future where there's a lot of crime, and it's just dystopian. That's very Blade Runner, but it just uses these in the beginning to get itself set up.
But like halfway through, you finally meet the android, and it's a special android too that has also these issues. So you're not even really in the world yet before they start changing the rules of the world. I didn't care about any of the characters. There was no emotional core. I just didn't care. Carl Urban was boring. You know, he's normally a good actor, but here he just doesn't.
I don't think he's quite ready to carry his own show yet.
Yeah,
Agreed.
no,
I think
agree.
I think that this may be the project that makes him ready for that. I'm excited to see him grow in this character, but at this stage in the pilot, he's not quite there yet.
Yeah, he did not feel comfortable in this role at all. And I think that's something that's going to change over the course of the series. This is going to be a show that needs some time, needs a couple of episodes, maybe even a season to really get its voice, especially even the character. But I think that on the opposite end of that, we have Michael Ealy, who I think is perfect as the android, and I think he's very comfortable in his skin. So I think that we have enough there with these two characters to actually progress this along. Now, again, Carl Urban for me was channeling Dredd a lot. It's just Dredd without his helmet on.
Carl Urban is in every role.
I know.
As Aomer,
no,
as
you're right. You're right.
Lord Vaco,
He
as
always-
Dredd.
yeah,
All he knows how to do is grit.
Grit and this scowl, and if anything, he looked annoyed the entire time. But I was okay with that because his character's going to change.
'Cause it's a buddy movie. We've seen this before.
Almost Human might feel like something you've seen before, but like our robot and human leads, there's a lot going on underneath the surface. See it.
This show from J.J. Abrams' brand is barely human, and I wouldn't be surprised if it gets almost canceled. Skip it.
Almost Human uses a lot of well-established sci-fi tropes, but uses it in what could be a very original way. So for that, I say see it.
Our votes add up to 2 tickets, which is a stream it for Almost Human.
We have Dracula and androids.
Take 3 parts Downton Abbey, add in 1 vampire, and you get, what did I say?